And then when you get a third party involved, this comes back to my concept of a hammer and a nail, right? Depending on who you get involved, they're going to offer you a service based on their expertise. So you call in a coach, and they're going to look at who are they coaching, what is that person's goals, and coaching them to be better at their goals. Assuming their goals align with your goals, your team's goals. If it's you, you're the leader, perhaps coaching is absolutely appropriate. Or you call in someone, the next hat people wear, third parties wear when they help you. So these are all the different ways a third party like myself can support somebody else in conflict, okay? So one is coaching. Coaches are there for the benefit of the person they're coaching. They'll give independent views and advice, but at the end of the day, they're helping that person get to their goals. That's what a coach does. An advocate, okay, is like what lawyers do most of the time. I hope all of the time, that's what they're supposed to be doing, which is arguing for someone's interests. They give advice, and then they don't just coach that person to take steps. They will take it on their behalf. They will stand up at court, they will write the letters, they will give you their expertise, and they will be advocating. Now, unions also advocate. Yeah, you also have disability advocates, veterans advocates. So even in the advocating space, you can get a lawyer, but you can get lots of other types of advocates. It's important to recognize that these third parties also have their own interests, whether that's financial, whether when it comes to unions, there's depending on the union officer you get, and I don't want to get myself in trouble saying anything I shouldn't today, but they will have their own interests. Any advocate, disability advocates, veterans advocates who I've worked extensively with have had their own experiences of service, of trauma, of interacting with agencies that support veterans. So they'll bring their own perspective when they are working on your behalf. And then you have facilitative third parties, mediators, which I do half my life of, is that work. Now, we will facilitate a conversation and ensure the conversation is constructive and cooperative, but we're not going to tell people what to do. We're not going to be able to coach them if they need coaching on challenge, if they're not a great leader or not a great communicator and they need one-on-one coaching to improve that. A mediator can't do those things. They are wearing that purely facilitative hat. You have conciliators. They usually work for courts and tribunals. They'll give you some advice and then facilitate an outcome. And then the last one you have are investigators, and you can call them in as well as a business if you have a conflict, if you have an allegation, and you can have them investigate and tell you what the outcome should be. They'll make recommendations, and if you take it to court, a tribunal, that's what the judge or tribunal member does. So when it comes to conflict, the earlier you catch it, right, from that self-awareness perspective down, you can get these different people involved. You leave it long enough though, and you really only have the yellow option left. So it's important to think through, okay, we have some tension at the moment, which of these might be the best support for us? And it's worth thinking through all of the supports before you pick up the phone to anyone, because as I said, when you only have a hammer, every problem looks like a nail. And knowing that certain lines, once you go down, and even if you pick up a phone to a mediator who's also a lawyer, they might say, okay, mediation, this date, this place, and you start that escalation path. So just working out as a business, do I want to start this escalation, or do I want to address this conflict differently? There may be cases where you absolutely want to start the escalation. Right? No, this is unacceptable, this is fraud, this is bullying, harassment, it's dangerous. We're getting an investigator, we're getting this sorted. So being clear not just on your approaches, but where the third party comes in.